Hello guys, today we are going to talk about Burndown Chart, the most commonly used chart in Scrum. A Burndown Chart shows how the team is completing work over time, how much work has already been done, and how much is still remaining. It helps you easily track sprint progress and quickly see whether the team is on track to finish all planned tasks on time. Before we go further, don't forget to hit thumbs up and subscribe button so you don't miss any new content. Let's jump in. We will use Jira to show Burndown chart. As you can see, it can be visualized in 4 variants: story points, issue count, original estimate, and remaining time estimate. To demonstrate this, I created a sample project in Jira and sample sprint. In this sprint, there were 4 tasks: ISIM 1, ISIM 2, ISIM 3, and ISIM 5, each with the following estimates assigned. The sprint lasted 1 week. To simplify the chart as much as possible, I set original estimate and story points to the same values. Of course, in real life, teams should choose one estimation method, but here it's done this way just for presentation purposes, so we can visualize the Burndown chart in a few different ways. Let's now take a look at the Burndown chart based on story points. Here we can see a stair-step structure where the total estimation for all user stories was 11 story points. Almost every day, one of the sprint tasks was completed, meaning its status were set to done. At the end of the sprint, the last task or user story was finished. The steps are uneven because the team closed the lower estimated task first and the higher estimated ones toward the end of the sprint. Now let's move to the issue count chart. It's slightly different from the story point chart because here we don't take task estimates into account, only the number of issues to complete. As you can see, at the beginning of the sprint, there were 4 tasks. Almost every day, one of them was closed, and by the end of the sprint, the last one was completed. Next is the original time estimate chart, which is quite a simple one. On the y-axis, we have the total of all task original estimates. When a task is completed, meaning it has the done status, the chart goes down. The last chart we will look at is the remaining time estimate. This one looks quite different from the previous two. On the y-axis, we see the time estimates for the tasks. The red line shows the time remaining to complete all sprint tasks. In this example, one of the developers updated the time spent field on the task, entering that they spent 3 hours on it, which reduced the remaining time to 1 day and 5 hours. Let's see how this works on the new test task. I created a task issue and estimate it for 2 days. If you log 3 hours on time spent on it, just like in the previous example, the remaining time will automatically change from 2 days to 1 day and 5 hours. We need to remember that if the time spent exceeds the remaining time, then the remaining time will drop to 0, unless we manually adjust it based on the current situation. For example, even if we've already used up all the estimated time, we might still need to spend another full day to finish the task, and we can manually update it to reflect that. To summarize the remaining time chart, we can see that the team continuously updated the time spent and the remaining time fields, which allowed us to track sprint progress accurately. By the end of the sprint, the total time spent turned out to be slightly lower than the original estimation. That means the developer were able to complete their task a bit faster than expected. For example, finishing a 2-day task in just one day. In this case, they manually set the remaining time to 0. Okay, that will be it. Don't forget to subscribe the channel and leave a thumbs up. Feel free to leave a comment with your thoughts. See you in the next video, folks.